Now, Kane is someone who's learning, but he's still being manipulated at the same time, and this is why he still acts before he thinks, and this is one of the main reasons why Lorenzo prefers Drew over Kane. But the jealousy is something that started to grow within Kane in episode 6, because he saw how Lorenzo was playing Drew so close. And the thing is, he was promised that when the time comes, he would be the one to take over the family business, and with him thinking he's found the connect, he believes he's earned this right. But with Lorenzo preferring Drew, all this is going to do is contribute towards the Tejada split and lead towards Drew versus Kane. So in this video, we're going to dive deep on Lorenzo's relationship with Drew and Kane, how he contributed towards this Tejada split, and how he's foreshadowed what's to come from the connect that Kane has, and how Kane's actions will have implications on Drew. So stick with this video till the end. Now, to set the foundation for this video, we have to understand why Kane is angry, and we have to take it back to season 1, episode 6. When Kane went to go visit Lorenzo, he told him that he needs to learn how Monet runs shit, so when it's his turn, he knows how to run shit. So in Kane's mind, he's always been the next in line to take over the family business, whether that's from Lorenzo or from Monet, and naturally this is the case, because he's the eldest out of the Tejada kids. Well, technically Zeke is, because Courtney Kemp did confirm in a Q&A that Zeke is the eldest. But Lorenzo was telling Kane one thing, but thinking another, because he's always been their soldier, and that's it. In Lorenzo's mind, Drew was the right one to take over because of how smart he is, his ability to make decisions, and keep a cool head, and also be able to hold it down in the streets. Diana belongs in school, and Kane's the bodyguard and the muscle to the Tejadas. But because of what Lorenzo fed to him in season 1, Kane was expecting things to be different when Lorenzo was released from prison because of what he promised him. But what was Kane expecting? Lorenzo's the head of the Tejada family, and he was running things even from inside. So did Kane really think that he was going to take orders from his son as the plug? Someone who was constantly going against the family on a number of occasions, and put a number of them in harm's way. For example, Zeke and Drew. Of course he wasn't. And one of the issues with Kane is, he thinks he's the one who saved his family business by finding a new connect, Mecca, in episode 1. But in reality, did Kane find him, or did Mecca find Kane? Nothing is ever a coincidence in power, and him arriving in New York at a time where there's a vacant supplier position available, not too long after Ghost was killed, and not too long after Rico had been killed, and him bumping into Kane and Lil Guap wasn't just by chance. So it's fair to say what Kane has always wanted is to be shown love and respect from Lorenzo and Monet for what he's done for the family, but all he's done is got the complete opposite when Lorenzo started to play Drew so close to him when he came out of prison. And Kane has always been one to say Drew's not built for this game, especially when he had to pull his piece and shot up Lil Guap's place in season 1. But is Kane underestimating Drew? I think so, because the biggest advantage you can have is being underestimated. But Kane's jealousy with how Lorenzo wants to take Drew to meet the connect, and him having playing him second in command, is going to be his downfall, because Kane always does something drastic and makes emotional based decisions when things don't go his way. And this is still the case, even though he's being mentored by Mecca, and I'll give you an example. When Kane told Mecca that he was leaving town, Mecca said, "Is there anybody else you can pin this on?" Now, Mecca didn't specify Tariq, but Kane went ahead and planted the badge in Tariq's drawer, but he missed a fundamental principle from Law 15. Always crush your enemies totally, never go halfway, and give them an opportunity to come back. And this is what he failed to do with Tariq. And did you guys see the look on Kane's face when he realized that Tariq was out on bail?
Even though he's out on bail, I figured I'd repurpose my white privilege.
This was the look of a man who knows he fucked up. So is it beyond reasonable doubt to think that Kane will mess up once again when Lorenzo and Drew meet Mecca? I definitely think so, and I'm going to come back to this in just a moment. But with Kane telling Lorenzo that he's the connect now, Lorenzo replied with, when it goes wrong with his connect, because it will, bring that same energy. And this is a classic example of why Lorenzo has always favored Drew over Kane, because of this very exact reason. Kane really doesn't think about the bigger picture, and he's always been one who bounces to whoever gives him this love and respect that he's been searching for. At first, he was telling Monet that this is Dad's house, everything that she has is because of Lorenzo, and we all saw how happy he was when he was released. But now that he's realized that Lorenzo prefers Drew over him, he's flipped sides again, and we saw Kane telling Lorenzo this.
But you back home, you don't have shit. You're living off my mother. So what are we talking about, man?
He told him that you're living off my mother, and this is Kane yo-yoing between whoever benefits him. But Lorenzo knows Kane better than he knows himself, and he also knows Drew. He instantly spotted Drew's weakness when Ev walked into the house. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see Lorenzo eliminating Ev, or making Drew have no choice but to eliminate him himself, because this is what would really leave Drew with no humanity left. And this is the only thing that's tying him to the normal world. And we haven't once seen him draw since he got shot. He tried in episode 1 of season 2, but he couldn't. So Ev is his only escape, and Lorenzo knows this. peep how we looked at Drew's phone in this scene.
And I'm taking your advice.
Lorenzo knew full well what he was doing by stopping him going to see Ev, and instead turned his attention to the family business when he tasked him to tell Kino, but just to follow him and report back, and we saw him putting the family business first. But who's still eager to prove his worth? That's Kane. He's still looking for this respect from his father, and I can see him doing something stupid, like following Drew when he tells Kino, and maybe taking Kino out, which starts a war with the BSKs. Because let's not forget, Kane has done this before when he followed Drew to Lil Guap's place, albeit because Monet asked him to, but Kane would still think he's not built for it, so I can definitely see Kane following Drew in this scene. And whatever Kane's done where he said he did what he had to do to protect the family, which could have been killing Kino or harming Ev or something else, it's just going to result in Kane versus Drew. And Lorenzo definitely has to take a fair share of the blame for this split, unintentional or not. He caused this feud and divide between the brothers, mainly because of Kane's jealousy of course, but Lorenzo comes into the family after being inside for 10 years, and all of a sudden, he's changing things for everyone. But whatever Kane's done, it's time for Drew to realize that he's just out for himself, just like Diana learned when she found out that he was behind the powdered sugar move. And slowly you can see not just Drew turning against Kane, but Diana as well, because she's been questioning his motives for a while. And then we can see Lorenzo being fed up with Kane. So I can see Drew siding with Lorenzo, and Kane definitely siding with Monet again, in the short term anyway. But I do think Diana is somewhat stuck in the middle. Even though she is Daddy's girl, I think Tariq could have a say in which direction her character goes, because she's someone who wants to go to school, Stansfield specifically, but hustle at the same time. She wants to basically do what Effie does, which is why we saw her asking Effie to teach her. But Lorenzo doesn't want this for her, he just wants her to go to St. John's University, where they've paid for her tuition already. So I think Diana is still one to watch. But coming back to Drew, Kane, Lorenzo and Mecca, can Drew do something that Kane's failed to do, and that's suss Mecca out? Because it does seem like Lorenzo and Drew will meet Mecca in episode 7. So let's see if Drew is smart enough to realize that Mecca isn't what he seems. As I said, we can't underestimate Drew, and Kane can't underestimate him either, so let's see what happens when this meeting goes down, and whatever's kicked this off between the two, you can bet it's something big for Drew to lose his mind, because the only 2 occasions where he's flipped a switch was when someone did or something against the family, and that was Lil Guap putting a gun to Zeke's knee, and the reporter who spoke about Lorenzo being inside for manslaughter. So if Kane's gone against the family once again, it's about time they all realize they're better off without him, and maybe realize it's in their best interests to send him down for Jabari and Ramirez's murder, because he really does have to pay for what he's done. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and let me know what you make of Drew versus Kane, and why do you think Drew's attacking Kane? Do you reckon he's gone against the family again? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.